Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. Today's video we got a vessel that's been highly requested by quite a few people. A vessel that I thought I did a review of it, but when I checked back in the channel I didn't. So this is the Pik Up, or in my case the Pik Up 3. So the number after the name is based on the tier system. The higher the number, the better the module stats. So for instance, this tier 3 vessel has an A-class reactor with 28 power. Whereas if you had a tier 2, the reactor may only be 24, and tier 1, the reactor may only be 20. For the most part, the tier ships will be aesthetically the same. But yeah. So just looking at it, it's quite an interesting vessel. It's made by Hope Tech primarily, and it's wow, it's got very little engines. It looks to me like it's meant to be like a support vessel. Like it has those girders that make me think that it can attach on to like vessels to repair and like refuel and stuff. It's very wide. Very wide. Anyway, let's look at the stats. So it's got a fuel of 800, which is insane. Like that amount of fuel, you can go lots of places with that fuel. I'm assuming that the fuel is more for the aesthetic of the ship than the actual needing to, because I feel like with 800 fuel you could go from one side of the galaxy to the other, which makes sense, like having a high amount of fuel, considering this looks to be like a kind of a ship that you would, if you had like a fleet of vessels, like this would be a supporting vessel that would kind of come along, carry extra fuel, extra resources. It's got a hull of 804, which, given the size of the ship, that's not an awful lot of hull. I should probably stop spinning just because that might annoy people. Yeah, it's not the highest like I've seen for an A-class. Now, obviously, it is quite high, but if you look at how big the ship is and how much modules it has, you kind of expect to be a bit more. It's got a cargo capacity of 1140, which is quite low. I mean, it's an A-class, so it's not too bad, but yeah, it's not a lot of storage. It's got an A-class reactor with 28 power, which is really good for an A-class reactor. The max A-class reactor, I think, is like 30. It's either 31 or 33, so 5 off is not bad. Only 3 crew, which is quite low, considering the amount of modules or habitat modules in the ship. I'm surprised there's not a control station inside just to bump the crew up. So if you wanted to do that, you could obviously swap it out. Swap out one of the modules for a crew compartment, control compartment, sorry. It's got a jump range of 25 light years, which is quite good. Max jump range you can get in a ship is 30, so it's only 5 off. You can go to most places in this sort of vessel. Shields is 680, which again for an A-class is not bad. I believe the highest shields on an A-class around 900, so not too bad off, only 220. It's got laser, ballistic, and missile weapons. It's got a single laser mounted on the port side of the bridge. The starboard side of the bridge, sorry. It's got a ballistic mounted to the port side on the top of the bridge, and then it's got 2 missile pods mounted there to the left side of the ship. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty interesting ship. So this cost me 191,960. That's taking into account that I have the max barter perk and also the tier system. If you purchase this ship, it might be cheaper or more expensive depending on the tier in your perks. So I found this vessel here. With this lady here, oh, didn't mean teabag, Inaya Raymond. She is the Hope Tech ship seller in the Hope Tech tower. So if we look on the map here, so we are in Hope Town here, on the planet Polvo, down there, in the Valo system. The Valo system is hidden under the Narian, and then there's Alpha Centauri there, and there's Sol. So if you come here, the ship should be here. If it's not here, I would recommend going to Mercury and sitting down in one of your seats on your ship and wait 24 hours in game. 24 hours on Mercury is like over 2,000 hours in game, so it like resets all of the ship vendors, and then once you've done that, you just come back here and it'll reset your inventory, and it should be here. Might take a couple of attempts, but yeah. So we're gonna really quickly jump now to the usual spot to showcase the ship. Alright, here we are. This is just a little overview of the ship as usual. Really cool looking ship, very unique. A lot of the Hope Tech ships are very, like, aside from the industrial look on them, they don't really have a lot in common, which is quite interesting. As you can see there, it has those big, I believe they're tile girders. They might be Hope Tech girders, but yeah, it's quite cool. Try not to break my leg as I land. So we got the entryway through the... We got a Tayo entryway, which I don't know why they didn't just use a Hope Tech entryway. And we've got... Oh, we've got a Docker underneath. Deimos Docker, which is interesting. Have to... Looks like it's going to be the same location. Anyway, so in we go. Through the Tayo entryway. We've got a door as opposed to... That's probably why. Because there's a... It doesn't go up a ladder. It goes straight through the door to the next habitat. So we got a first entryway, we got a 1x1 companionway / storage way. And we have the docking port on the bottom, which I really like ships that have the docking port and the entrance in the same location. And then if we go up a level, we have another 1x1 storage room / companionway. Then we have a door that leads to a engine room, Hope Tech engine room. Really like the Hope Tech engine room, just because it's like a mix of machinery and computers. It's quite nice, very rugged, very industrial. And then if we go this way, we have another little 1x1 storage room. We'll check that in a second. We'll just head back down this way. We have a door here to the right that leads to a workstation for all your needs. So we've got weapon workbench, we've got an industrial workbench, and then we've got the spacesuit workbench. Now, I can't remember exactly, because I did a couple of reviews recently of these ships, Hope Tech vessels. I thought the other, like, I know the Nova Galactic Workshop, I'm 90% sure it also has a research station. Which I don't know if Hope Tech doesn't, or maybe they don't. None of them have it, and I'm just, like, misremembering, but anyway. And then here we have a... Ooh, what is this? This is clearly a storage room, but what is it just a... What is that? Why is that like that? That wall is very unique. This looks like a 3x2 storage room from Hope Tech. Like I said in previous videos, like aesthetically, like from a roleplay point of view, these are really, really cool because, you know, like it's like, oh, it's we've got all of our bits and bobs, you know, all your storage. But from a gameplay point of view, these are kind of pointless because they don't actually add anything to the... They don't give you any cargo, which is kind of a bit of a letdown. Like, I kind of wish any of these modules, like, that added the cargo would give you, like, maybe an extra 1,000 cargo, you know, something along those lines. Anyway, so if we come... I just want to double check. When I walk and talk, I tend to not pay much attention, so I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because the ship is laid out really strange. So we have this door here that goes to a... I believe this is an all-in-one berth from Hope Tech. No bathroom, so I'm assuming an all-in-one berth. I hope it's an all-in-one berth, because if it's actually like a living quarters and there's no bathroom, that's kind of rough. And then we come back this way, and we have a door here at the back that leads to a 1x1 storage room. Okay, interesting. And if we head back the way we came, and we go up here to the next level,
I'm glad to see
we have the bridge. Okay, so really cool. This is I really like this Hope Tech bridge. It kind of reminds me of Lakon vessels from Elite Dangerous. Lakon are like a manufacturer that make kind of industrial kind of hauler ships. Got a lot of view here, so like docking would be quite easy and landing, you know, you can see. And then we've got the pilot seat there, and then you've got your co-pilot to the left and your navigator to the right. Just gonna really quickly double check to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I'm a bit... It's only 2 levels. So if we come down here... Okay, so we only have this down here, perfect. And then if we run through real quick... This is the issue with like a lot of these kind of like unique looking vessels. You're like, where are they storing stuff? I think this is everything. Yeah, it's like I was saying with this is like, it's quite cool. But I'd swap it out for like maybe a 2x1 crew compartment, control room rather, just so you can get some extra, you know, like crew capacity. Maybe an infirmary or a science lab, just so you can get that pharmaceutical station. That's all we're missing is the research and pharmaceutical. That does seem to be everything. Okay, so we're gonna head back and we're gonna try out how she flies. Only 2 tiers of the ship, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people like ships with minimal ladders. There's kind of minimal ladders. There's ladders, but not as much as you would expect. Look at that. It's very, very interesting ship. We'll do a teardown at the end of the video like always, but those engines are very small. Alright, let's take off. So it's got those massive, and I mean massive, landing thrusters, which I really wish like could be functioning as engines, because like look at, like if they have enough power to lift this thing off the ground, they have more than enough power to propel it in space. We're gonna have to really quickly get rid of my crewmates because they're giving me bonuses. Alright, now the Samco has been dismissed from the crew. So we've got quite a lot of power from this reactor in the current setup. So obviously we've got 3 sets of weapons. Before I say that, so like always, I have a perk that increases... Why are we drifting? What the hell? Apparently we're like drifting, I don't know. I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this review, we're not going to be taking in the 5 power. So with the current configuration, we have more than enough to power everything, and we've got an extra 4 pips in gravity, so you could increase the engine by 4, put another engine on it, get a bigger shield, maybe some more weapons. So weapon-wise, we have a pair of lasers, or no, is that just a single laser there, sorry. We have a ballistic weapon, single, and then we have 2 missiles that are mounted there. It's not too bad. Like, it's not a bad layout. It could handle some stuff. Quick speed test. Base speed of 150, which is quite good. Do a boost speed now. Get us up to max real quick, and do boost speed of... Okay, yeah, this isn't very fast. We're about maybe 560. Not bad. The quick agility test. Okay, we're gonna pitch. Yeah, this is slow. Those engines are not cutting it, which makes sense. It is a hauling vessel. That's like a 4, maybe a 3. We'll do a quick pitch. This might be slightly faster. Yeah, it's like maybe like a 5, and then obviously we have the roll, which is not too bad. We're gonna really quickly go down to the planet now and do a teardown just to show you what it's made of. Alright, so here we are on the teardown. It's a very confusing layout for the ship. So we've got this top section. The only habitat module we have on the top is the Overseer 300 bridge by HopeTech. It gives 300 cargo and 2 crew stations. Weaponry, we have a Singe P 4 megawatt pulse laser by Lightsight, A class, 1500 range, 6.65 fire rate, and 16 shield damage with 4 power requirement. Then we have the Mauler 105U autocannon from Horizon Defense, A class again, 960 range, 6.65 fire rate, 14 hull damage, and 4 power. And then we have a pair of these CE-19 missile launchers from Ballistic Solutions Incorporated, A class, 4800 range, 1 fire rate, which they're all 1 fire rate, 80.84 damage to hull and shield, and 3 power each. And then for fuel tanks here, we have 2 of these 700T HE3 helium tanks from Ballistic Solutions Incorporated. They both give 400 grav jump, so 800 altogether. For the aesthetic pieces, we have on the left here, we have a HopeTech Cap A. We've got a starboard mid to 3 starboard mids here. And then we have a HopeTech Cap A starboard aft. And then we have at the front here, we have 2 of these HopeTech Cap A starboard 4 and port 4. We have 3 of these HopeTech Cap B mids with the little kind of jump, or like the rise section. We have 2 of these HopeTech Cap A starboard aft and port aft. And then underneath here we have some port mids, Cap A's. And then on top we have a pair of these HopeTech pipes 4. We've got 2 of them. And then we've got 4 mid pipes, 2 on each side. And then we have an aft pipe there. And then we have a HopeTech Marker A. So that's all of... And then we have at the back here, we have 2 of these HopeTech Riser Bs just to kind of lift these pipes. And then in the middle of the vessel, so we'll start here. We have the HopeTech Cargo Hall 3x2. Behind that, we have the HopeTech Living Quarters 2x1. We have the HopeTech Companionway 1x1. Workshop 2x1. companionway 1x1, an engineering bay 3x1, and a storeroom 1x1. As for the reactor, we have the Spheromax DC-201 reactor, deep core, A-class, 28 power. As always, being an A-class, we can get a little bit more power if we go to the reactors. So this is... which one are we using? We're using the 201. If we use the 202, we get 33 power, which I believe this is the best A-class reactor in the game. We have 2 storage here. We have the Storemax 30 cargo hold 210, and on the other side, the exact same 210. We have 4 of these Hope 55 landing gear, 2 on each side. At the back here, we have the R4000 Alpha Grav Drive from Relodyne, A-class, 9 power, and gives a jump thrust of 27, which in the current configuration gives 25 light years of jump range. And then we have a pair of these Ares DT60 engines from Panoptes. They are A-class, max power of 2, 14,000 engine thrust, and 2,600 maneuvering thrust. Now, if I'm going to be honest, those engines are kind of wimpy for what they are. What are they? They're the DT60. Okay, so they're not too wimpy. They're actually the best Panoptes have. You could go the route of, like, personally with this sort of vessel, I'd be more inclined to these ones here. Now, they offer less, obviously less thrust, a little bit more maneuvering. But they kind of just look better because they kind of, I don't know, I personally think these look cooler because they rotate. But anyway, all the same, the current configuration, like, it's not bad. And then for the aesthetics, we have 2 of these Nova bracers on the back there. And then on the front, we have 3 of these Hope Tech Bumper A. They're just to prevent you from crashing into stuff. And then on the bottom of the vessel here, we have the Tayo Shipbed 200 landing bay. Behind that, we have a Hope Tech storeroom. We have another of these Storemax 30 cargo holds from Dogstar, 210 each. We have the shield generator, a Marduk 1030A shield generator, A-class, 6 power, and 680 shield. Now, I know for a fact there is better shields, so... The Marduk 1040 shipbed landing bay. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Someone spammed me on my phone, so I'm just a bit confused. Give me one moment. Alright, sorry about the quick jump. Anyway, like I was saying, so this is the 1030. It cost 11k. This is the 1040. It costs 13k. So we get an extra, not very much. What is that? An extra 60, but an extra 80 shield if we go that route. Now, obviously, being A-class, there's better ones. So we could go with this one here. Gives 860. And then I believe we have one up here. Yeah, this bad boy here gives 810. So for A-class, like you're I believe there's like a better one. It's like 900, but it's not available here. All in all, it's not a bad shield generator. And then for landing gear, we have a pair of these Hope Tech landing gear 5. And then for the aesthetics, we have 4 of these Nova bracers. One there, one there, one here, and one at the back. And then we have 2 of these little Hope Tech Nose B4s. So we'll put the ship all back together. So all in all, it's quite an interesting ship. It's very industrial. Like I was saying, it looks like a kind of a support vessel. Like it's meant to pull up alongside larger vessels like warships and kind of, you know, repair them, refuel them, rearm them. It could definitely be upgraded to like be like a kind of an armed combat freighter. Like you have a lot of space here, which let me see if I can you just get a generic weapon here. You have like some space here where you can, so you could obviously you could strap some turrets there. You could also strap some turrets there. Now you could remove these here, and then I believe you can place turrets there, but I don't know if there's any here currently. But I know Tayo make like a structural piece that kind of, it's like a hard point that mounts on there. It can like stick, and it basically allows you to put weapons. But yeah, like all in all, like it's a very, very cool ship, a very unique ship. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Have you flown this ship? Are you a fan of this ship? Be interested to see if any of you guys have like tried to kind of retrofit it to be more combat focused. But yeah, As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and also check out some of my other reviews. Bye-bye.